Hey there, BookTube. Noah. Everyone who reads and must converse is the channel. Thanks for coming back by. A couple of other booktubers have been in conversation with me, and we've been kicking around an idea of doing a Flannery O'Connor focus to start off 2022. Flannery O'January is what we're calling it. And we have, just been talking about what kind of reading we might do. Flannery O'Connor has two novels, and has a whole, a host of short stories, maybe something like 30 to 40 short stories. And then there's miscellaneous prose, occasional writings in the mystery and manners, and there's letters. There's a lot of letters, uh, you know, at the time when Flannery O'Connor was writing. Letters were a big thing. There was a lot of letter correspondence between her and other writers and things like that. So, uh, Victoria at the Hungry Book, or a musical bookworm, and Christy Louise at Dostoevsky in Space, and myself are going to host a kind of a challenge. You can take part in it any way you want. We're going to do our own challenges, and I will let you know what the challenges are right now, and you can have an idea of what you might want to do a little planning, whatever. It's going to go through the whole month of January, and it's not going to be very, intensive at all. The most, the most intensive challenge is probably going to be Christy Louise at Dostoevsky in Space. She wanted to do some of Flannery O'Connor's letters, so it's called The Habit of Being. This is the collection of Flannery O'Connor's letters, and you can see it's a big book. There's a lot of letters in here, but I don't think that it's a big deal to focus on. There's Flannery, Mary Flannery O'Connor with her peacock, right? And I don't think that it's a big deal to kind of. You don't have to read all the letters. You know what I mean? You can pick and choose and read whatever you like. There's a lot of depth that you can get into her as a writer, to her as just a person, and how she looked at being a writer, and how she looked at her place in the world, especially with her illness and things like that, from her letters. It's great, totally great, and I definitely recommend it. But Christy Louise is spearheading the reading of the letters, and there will be on Victoria, a musical bookworm, her Discord server. She'll have a place for each of us. So there'll be a place for talking about letters, and then there will be a place for Victoria's own challenge, which is reading the short story collection "A Good Man Is Hard to Find." I have it collected in this three by Flannery O'Connor right here, and it's the complete Flannery O'Connor stories is available. This is the UK edition here. This is the American edition here. Beautiful covers, and you can get it. If you get something like this, then you just have everything Flannery O'Connor wrote as far as the short story, and it's worth it. Flannery O'Connor was a perfectionist, and she was all about method. She was just consumed by method, storytelling method. And it is very apparent in her stories and in her novels that she was hyper aware of symbolism and uh, actually the storytelling mode itself, and is a master, was a master at that. It's lovely. It's wonderful to see how the stories kind of work out, and when things happen, and how much you are at her will, as far as she's giving you this story, and you're just being dragged along. you know Maybe sometimes kicking and screaming, sometimes you're running to kind of get there. I love her short stories. A Good Man Is Hard to Find is one of the best, but a lot of short stories from the A Good Man Is Hard to Find. There is The River, fantastic story. The Life You Save May Be Your Own, A Stroke of Good Fortune, A Temple of the Holy Ghost, one of my favorites of all time. The Artificial Inward, it's a good story. A Circle in the Fire, A Late Encounter with the Enemy, that's fantastic. Good Country People, spectacular. and the displaced person. That's the name of all the short stories that are uh, in A Good Man Is Hard to Find. And I think it's really laid back. I don't know if if there's going to be a real tight, kind of, we're going to finish this story by this time and this story by that time. But that's up to Victoria. That is her challenge there, right? What I'm going to do, my part of Flannery O'January is to reread my favorite Flannery O'Connor piece ever, which is her second novel, which is The Violent Bear It Away. This is a sledgehammer of a book. It will hit you really hard when you don't expect it. It's an amazing story. It starts off very strong, doesn't let up until the unbelievably strong ending, and it's just a great story. I don't want to say too much about it, but I'll maybe give you the back. How about that? The Violent Bear It Away, Flannery O'Connor's second novel, displays her astonishing gifts for satire with compassion and pathos with humor. It tells the story of Francis Marion Tarwater, an orphan who lives back country with his great uncle in Powderhead, Tennessee. Before the old man dies, he prophesies Tarwater's fate. The Lord will call you to be a prophet. Another crucial prophecy he makes is to Raber, his nephew, a school teacher and it's about Raber's son Bishop. Either Tarwater or me is going to baptize that child. If not me in my day, then him in his. At the old man's death, little Bishop, thanks to Raber's alert opposition, remains unbaptized, and on Tarwater falls the burden of baptizing him. A struggle over Bishop begins between Tarwater and Raber. The clash between these two temperaments provides some of the funniest episodes in the book, as Raber exerts himself to the straining point in his sincere desire to rescue Tarwater's mind from darkness. Brainwashing. He's like this backwoods, this backwoods preacher kind of thing. Yet Tarwater, interiorly, is undergoing a struggle of his own. He does not want to be either prophet or Baptist. He shows extraordinary strengths within himself in resisting his fate. The story moves inexorably to its climax and to an outcome which neither Raber nor Tarwater could foresee. So you see a little bit of parallels between Tarwater and Hazel Motes from Flannery O'Connor's first novel, Wise Blood. But that's about as far as it goes. Being the reluctant preacher, resisting your fate, that kind of thing. But I will say that this is such a stronger and more mature effort from Flannery O'Connor. It just kicks Wise Blood's butt all over the place. I love it, and that's going to be my challenge. I'm going to reread The Violent Bear It Away and do like a read along. There will be a forum on Victoria's Discord for that as well. And so there's a link in the description box for her Discord. And that's where we'll do some discussion through the month of January. I hope that you guys enjoy, and I hope that y'all come along, because it is fun. It's light, easy reading. Even though the subject matter can be very, very heavy, right? It still is not something that's going to bust your TBR open. And if you don't have a copy of any of this and you want to get in on it, I'll say right now, this 3 by Flannery O'Connor has Wise Blood, the full collection of A Good Man Is Hard to Find short stories, and The Violent Bear It Away. And I'll be giving this away. The first person to hit me an email, tell me, hey, I'm down for the Flannery O'Connor, but I need a copy of, The Violent Bear It Away, or A Good Man Is Hard to Find, or I'll take that 3 by Flannery O'Connor you held up, then it'll be on its way to you for sure. I love Flannery O'Connor. It's a perfect way to start off 2022. So I hope y'all come along with us. Let's read some awesome short stories by a master storyteller. Thank you very much, BookTube. Bye bye.